True Peace Kens. Huge anti-lockdown protest hits London as city braces for weekend of demonstration. Man, peep the slang. London protests. Thousands of protesters are marching through London demanding an end to lockdown restrictions. The weekend would be a busy one for the city's police, with climate change and anti-austerity protests also taking place. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's recent decision to push back the UK's reopening until later next month was an unpopular one, and thousands of demonstrators took to the streets of London on Saturday today to show their discontent. Starting out from Hyde Park, throngs of people marched through the century of the British capital, demanding an end to coronavirus-related restrictions. Estimating crowd sizes is the exact science, but attendance easily reached the thousands, if not tens of thousands. Some estimates put attendance into six figures. London protests. It's a lot of people, man. Peep the slang. There's a lot of people here. London protests, man. Peep the slang. London protests. They out there cutting up. Peep the slang, man. London protests. The turnout is massive. For those who are still asleep, we would do it for you. June 26th. Big protest. London. London protests. Peep the slang. Huge crowd of freedom fighters, liberty lovers, and defenders of democracy length of Regent Street and Oxford Street, man. Peep the slang while the anti-lockdown crowd raised against the new normal. Climate change activists with the Extinction Rebellion group did the exact opposite, calling for dramatic new environmental policies in wake of the pandemic. Extinction Rebellion said in a statement that its members would stand together to turn their back on a return to business as usual after COVID-19 and demand a new normal. Crowds of eco activists marched through the city, albeit in lower numbers than the anti-lockdown crowd. They were joined by left-wing protesters from the People's Assembly, a group demanding pay hikes for public sector workers and scrapping of a controversial policy bill that would give officers more power to crack down on protests. Man, peep the slang. London protests, man. London is out here protesting. It's a big protest. Black Lives Matter out there. Man, peep the slang. Several different groups on the starting line of today's protest in London: anti-lockdown, anti-austerity, Extinction Rebellion, Free Palestine, BLM, anti-war, amongst others, coming together in opposition to the current government, man. Peep the slang. The city's DJ are also protesting the shutdown of their livelihoods. Nightclubs have been closed since last March, and The Guardian reported that up to 40% of nightclubs have gone out of business in that time. Almost among the crowd were pro-Palestine and Black Lives Matter demonstrators. London Metropolitan Police arrested 12 people on Friday yesterday and seized items they said could be used to cause criminal damage and obstruction. Several members of Extinction Rebellion were among those arrested, though the group claimed that they were artists and the items seized were materials for an art installation. The police, on the other hand, described the arrest as proactive action to prevent and reduce the likelihood of criminal activity during the course of the weekend. A statement from the force also said that a number of highly specialist policy teams will remain on hand during the course of the weekend and that the officers will act swiftly to any threat, man. Peep the slang. London is out there protesting, man.